Diallo getting the roll is TJ Bamba. Bamba was dominant in the first matchup between these two teams, had 21 against Washington back in January.
Yeah, and I think, we talk about Biddle and his defense rising, his level rising on the defensive end, but I think the same can be said for TJ Bamba. Obviously different roles, different people they're guarding, but Bamba has been really good in taking out the other team's best perimeter player.
Good feed. Over to Diallo for two. Biddle draws a crowd. Biddle splits it, misses a shot, missed the second one.
I think Kepnon got a piece of the second one. Missed the point blank to start.
Kepnon battling. Kepnon for two more. It's a 2-point game. Bartholomew for three. Only 2 threes in the game for Oregon, both hit by Biddle. Underneath, that's Harris for two. Good pass. Get a chance to tie or take the lead for Washington. There's a three on the catch and shoot.
Half was one of their best halves of the season at UW. It was the best shooting performance that Washington has allowed. So Zoom Diallo without the services of the 48% three-point shooter Tyler Harris today. Kepnon 3 for the dunk.
Well, and I was just going to say, guys, proven in Oregon, we were there last Saturday. Oregon did an unbelievable job of keeping Claude in front, making it difficult for him. Desmond Claude only 1 point in that game last Saturday at Oregon.
Well, we showed you Claude and Osobar, 2 key players. Neither made a field goal in their last game. There's DJ Davis with the 3. And 3 months ago, everybody would have got one of them. Ace Bailey, but the guy he's tied with.
In conference games.
In conference games, yeah. Good note. Good point. Mason scores.
Offensive mindset from USC in this half.
Top 15 teams make it to Indianapolis and the Big Ten tournament right now. Entering play today, USC is 15th. They play UCLA coming up this weekend. The second half starts just back after not a productive scoring day against Indiana, and then he pokes it away. One of the best at that. He's 3rd in the league in steals, and Davis converts with his.
Not that that means anything, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they should play a 3rd game in some other sport to break the tie. Ashley Adamson, I know, who's entering that coverage from Indianapolis. Text Yates. Run off the 3-point line into a turnover.
Should have shot the first one.
Davis is happy to do it, and he hits it. And then
rebounds. 3 straight losses for Washington, but Danny Sprinkle was telling us this morning, we've shown we can play with anybody in this league. We are just struggling to finish games down the stretch.
Yeah, they were without Frank Kepnon, I think, for the toughest part of the season when they faced like 6 or 7 ranked teams in a row.
Back in the corner with a hand in his face. That's a big-time shot, man.
This is something we'll talk about through the game, but you can't really underestimate how much being 23 years old in this game can really play a factor. A guy who's seen a lot of basketball, and speaking of, Makai may come down. Gilmore draws 2. Tanjay open. Oh, Gilmore got in there, just could not secure it.
The great cut by Tanjay, relieved him. Oh, great back door.
Beautiful dime. 22 to play here in Madison.
Definitely said it. Balanced attack. Multiple guys having an impact for Wisconsin. Different names.
Jamaica with 8 off the bench. Xavier Amos down with a season-high 11. Kepnon finally gets one to go.
About it, don't you? Absolutely. Traore a 3. Back-to-back misses to start his day. Be interesting to see. Danny Sprinkle said we have to control pace. How much Zoom Diallo, the freshman point guard, picks and chooses his times to push it, or when they get set in the half court here, just play through Osobar and he'll just back down. Well, there's only one guy there. Sent one body at him again, and Kepnon open at the basket. Do you see what that post up is? His time. He's strong. Strength certainly helps that. And good hands for Kepnon. He started what looked like it was going to be a break for Washington. Now they slow. Yeah, this is what makes him tough, is he can back down. Kepnon uses his size, gets the bounce. Confident in a game yet. Turned over. Thelwell right to the hands of Osobar. I'm not sure what Thelwell was looking at. Kepnon running the floor, draws a double. Mason and one.
Because there was some traffic in there, but Harris gets an extra possession.
Osobar going right at Somerville and creates for Mason. The hot hand and another one. Bailey threads the needle and Somerville. No, Bailey tapped it up. Jump ball, jump ball, jump ball, and pulled down by Iheanacho.
Good decision making here from Osobar.
He gets doubled.
Good find.
Harris wide open.
Next year if you want.
Now Zoom Diallo. Iheanacho. And they get it to the hands of Osobar. 15 for him tonight. How did Harris get so open? And he makes him pass. 4 Huskies with at least 15. Harper and Sprinkle having a word. What does Washington have out of the timeout? Trying to get it to Osobar. The freshman guarding him, Dylan Grant.
Backside help.
Mason steps in, avoided the steal, and figured that part of this out.
You know, Ohio State did very similar things to them in terms of beating them off the bounce. So you got to be locked in, and you got to be there to help your teammates out as well.
This is the other part, too. Washington, throughout the course of the season, ins and outs of whether or not they run good offense. That's a solid kick into the corner. It's an open three for Kern.
But they are really going to let Kern have as many jump shot opportunities as he would like this afternoon.
Now Washington is open 1 of 6 from the floor. Mason changes that with it. And he got put back into the starting lineup when Puck Johnson was lost for what is now the season with the hand injury that he had surgery on. And Osobar is going to take Kern back to the same spot on the floor.
Oh, that's a good step through by Osobar and a beautiful feed.
And Mason's Penn State leading by a baker's dozen with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, so what can Washington do to overcome this? Zoom Diallo, I think, needs to get involved, Jason. He's got one of the few guys on Washington can go get their own shot. They seem to be struggling with any kind of semblance of continuity on this end.
Well, and Washington away from Seattle, too. I mean, all of their road losses in conference have been by double figures. Now, they do have the win at the barn. They beat Minnesota. But they haven't been in all these games throughout the course of this conference play. And there you go. Diallo got their 7 minutes with great offense, and that has come to a complete halt.
What is Makai Mason? Does he not understand that Ace Baldwin is one of the best defenders in the Big Ten?
Nice shovel, and ooh, the hammer. Knee injuries. He played the first couple, then sat out a couple of months. He's been in and out of the lineup. It's the first time he has led the Huskies in scoring in a half all year. And even last year, Stephen, when he played 10 games, he did average 8.5 points a game, so he had an impact that they thought would be part of his team. But it is on full display this afternoon.
Well, you can see it. I mean, he's aggressive. He moves well. He's not going to try to do a whole lot of things that he can't do.
Now, he almost touched that. Mason the trailer for 3. There's Kepner for the putback, and he hit the deck. Osobar another rebound. Diallo the scoop. Count it. Washington has the lead and a...
Niederhauser has not been a factor whatsoever.
Tried to force it. Mason knocked it away. Washington has it back with a chance to regain the lead. Osobar's got the advantage. The kick out to Harris. And he hits in the Huskies back.
Touch with the left hand. First time all afternoon we've seen zone by Penn State. How does Washington attack this?
Into the post, Osobar to Ketnong. Floats it, gives it right back.
Washington's been able to hit a couple threes, but Penn State feels comfortable sitting in this matchup zone.
Osobar is working on Kern, who's playing with 4 fouls. Into the paint, an open look for Mason. He's been hot all day. That one rolls home.
Changed it. He wants to go with Bazumana, and then we'll go with Zoom. Makai Mason's 3 is strong, and Diallo tips it out. Second chance for Washington.
That's why I like working with you, Kevin. One of the things, because, you know, you get that out of the way, we can just go with Zoom.
Inside, Zoom for 2.
And Keith Kimball's biting at him. Thought he should have gotten the foul call. He didn't get it. Better not stare at Keith Kimball too long now.
E.J. Davis with the 3. Conversation not only for the Big Ten tournament, but for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, as they should. I mean, quality team. Got some good wins and starting to really put it together at the right time.
Good win over these Buckeyes on Sunday. Into the corner, the 3 up and down for Washington.
From distance immediately.
Big bucket for him. We talked about the 3 ball. Neither one shoots it great. If you can get him to make some, he was 1 for 6 the other night. It would really help spread the defense. There's no doubt about that.
Washington back home after an impressive win on the road, and Minnesota, you can count it, and 1. But
Clear out that lane, but if the Huskies stay in, it'll be tough.
I need a quick shot here. Just off the mark, and Tyler Harris with the big board, coming off a really impressive performance against Minnesota.
Got going in a lot of ways for them, and when you start making some threes and then spread out the defense, it makes it so much easier. Makes it easier to coach. There's no doubt about that.
Diallo sets things up once again for the Huskies as the shot clock goes under 10. The extra pass, Brian Bach, and he bags it from the corner. And the arc for the Huskies. Morgan in the paints. Osobar with the rebound. Yeah, the Huskies shot almost 47% from the arc against Minnesota. The previous 5 games, they shot under 30% from three-point land. So it was a pretty stark turnaround in a positive way.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That was a difference maker in the game against Minnesota, and they're off to a...
Wow! DJ Davis, 6th man, and he is known for that in particular. Knocks down his first shot try.
Season had a great freshman year at Wisconsin, and then struggled last year, and now kind of got into gear here. Starting to play good basketball.
Hey, when you're hot.
In the driver force for Nebraska the last 2 games, it's been their defense, their energy. They've kind of seemed to be everywhere. But right now, Washington is just doing what they want to, getting the ball where they want. And they've done a good job playing off that top of the key.
Harris takes a contested 3. Oh, my goodness. 2-possession game. In this key Big Ten matchup, the only meeting between Minnesota and Washington. Harris stays hot.
That is so good, Mike. Got a Mike Mitchell sighting. He struggled. 3-point shot hasn't been going down. He's 1 for 5. So he says, let me put it on the deck and get to the rim. Heavy on the collar. He missed Dawson Garcia there. He had Makai Mason. Mike Mitchell bailed him out.
Mason off the handoff. Mason in traffic and got it to go. Tough shot.
It didn't look like on that first possession that Washington was going to double Biddle on the block.
Tyler Harris on the turnover and the dunk.
Not a short closeout. That's a no closeout.
Osobar gives it up. Harris is open, and he swishes it.
It's cut from the postseason.
That is going to be a fascinating storyline here in another month and a half.
Osobar finds court right.
Pass, good cut.
And they get a quick inbound to Miles Colvin. He's been at the rim point blank twice since he came in off the bench.
Washington's going to have to stay engaged on the defensive end and keep scrapping. They've done a good job here the first 8.5 minutes.
Makai Mason with the 3. Braden Smith fading away, but it won't go down.
Again, just a little bit out of sync, you feel like Purdue is right now. But give Washington credit. They've dug in here defensively. Good cut.
Mason with the follow.
Can't affect their defense. Their defense was so good in that first half.
Smith couldn't get the offensive rebound. Washington has yet to score in 3.5 minutes. Osobar gives it up.
And for two, Harris.
Purdue is going to head off to Eugene tomorrow before they play Oregon on Sunday. Oregon's been off since last Sunday.
Be a good game.
Courtwright lost the defender. It leads to an open three for Mason.
Those possessions.
Almost shattered the backboard with that pass from Osobar. Wolf for three. Not this time.
About the only thing Michigan isn't doing well is shooting the threes. 2 out of 8 thus far. It's been Washington's game. Isolation on Wolf. Osobar kicks back out. Courtwright for 3. Popped it and ended up on his backside. Kick it into the corner. 3 ball. Osobar keeps it alive. Diallo now with the left hand. Osobar with
Danny Sprinkle going with this 1-3-1, but has paid the price for that decision. Again, Michigan just carves it up. 3-point shots, the lob.
Harris just rejecting 90 points a game. They're going to be living in Ann Arbor. Walters almost. Wolf tap in, no good. A rare miss for Danny Wolf today. Does get credited for another rebound, though, his 7th. Osobar to Mason for 3. That's good. Does Washington?
Iheanacho now will inbound. Osobar, he wants to take Kohler here one-on-one. Double team comes. Breidenbach is the cutter, count the bucket, and the foul.
Fast. He did look good, didn't he? That'd be a great sign for Washington. DJ Davis.
Oh! From last year, especially on the offensive end.
Mason misses the 3, but it's right into the arms of Tyler Harris. Offensive rebound for Washington.
Interesting that Washington starts with an offensive rebound because you thought that the real advantage for Maryland was going to be on both boards.
It leads to play.
When you get slowed down, everything becomes a little bit less rhythmic, and shots are different because you're not running and you're not in rhythm. Everything's kind of clunky in the half court. And I think that's kind of what's happening right now.
Even in this, it's been a continuous stretch of play. Diallo, left-hand layup. Season. Fake, take, and Miguel is nowhere close. Rebound, Osobar.
Job by Osobar keeping Reesop the best offensive rebounder in the Big Ten.
There's his passing, and Breidenbach.
And you got to sit earlier than you normally do. Rarely do you see guys get in early foul trouble and have a really good game. I'm surprised if Osobar doesn't touch in this possession this time.
Rescreens for Diallo, now touches. Davis launches. It's gone for DJ.
South State team played Purdue in March Madness, came up short. But that was my first time seeing them last year.
Kelly picked up his first 15 foul.
Get the nickname Zoom. He said his real name is hard to pronounce, so one of his youth basketball coaches, there's his father right there, named him Zoom because he was quick and the name is stuck. The young man was born in the Ivory Coast, and that's where his parents are from. You know, one of the reasons I don't like it, we had a young man named Isaiah Stewart who played here under Lorenzo Romar, and he was just a monster in college, but he was about 6'8", 6'9", and I had NBA scouts telling me they didn't think it was a position for him in the NBA.
How about the pass from Osobar?
Restart Big Ten play.
Huskies start out with the basketball. We got a nice crowd on hand on this
I'm not
Christmas
surprised.
Eve.
A little crosstown game. Seattle U about, what, 3.5 miles away, something like that?
Couldn't be much further than that. Pull-up jumper from Makai Mason, and the hot shooting continues.
Get that out to his players because I don't know of any guys that look to do that. I used to hate taking charges as a player.
Diallo bobbled it, but recovers and puts it in. 78.
Well, that's back in the Jawan Oldham days right there. Went on to play in the NBA. I think Carl Irvine might have been on that team. Tyler, it's hard to believe they're just down 9 with 17 turnovers.
Largest lead of the game for the Huskies. Backdoor. Iheanacho up and under.
That's a beautiful set.
Watts, the sophomore out of West Seattle.
You know, it's a lot of motivation when the home team doesn't really recruit you. And I don't think they recruited Isaiah Watts at all when Mike Hopkins was here. The boy, he turned into a fantastic player for the Washington State Cougars.
Harris hunts his second, and he bags it.
Didn't even need to leave his feet to get his hands on that rebound. That big wide body.
Long three, DJ Davis. He bags his third.
Down there in the paint, Aaron.
Price pivot, spins, fades. Rebound pulled down. Why not? Instead, the other way. Diallo up and under.
Yeah, that was nice. Get the ball off the glass and initiate the offense. I didn't know that until I saw him here at Washington. I only saw him 2 times last season at Utah State. Once first round of the tournament, then against Purdue and Big Zach Edey. But he's looking at the young man
for an assist right there. He gets one in transition.
Take off with it, baby. The Eagles. He was flying like one on that play.
Sure was.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
Allowed 11 points so
I love
far
the attitude he plays with. Love the attitude he plays with, AJ. You can see he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He cocked that bad boy.
I think if he could, he would play with his shirt off like he was yesterday in practice.
He was the only guy with no shirt on. You're right.
Diallo rocks away, and
he stepped up. He stepped up in a big way.
13 for Andrew Cook to match McLean.
He's heating up
for the
a little
team
bit,
lead.
AJ.
McLean hasn't scored, by the way, since halftime.
Yeah. He's about to get scored on because he's too small down there. Mouse in the house to play right now, so they got to get something going here. And too much dribbling by Mason Williams right there, and as a result, he turns it over.
Iheanacho, the pickpocket. Here is King allowed 2 at the pack.
Not known for his dunks.
You're great filling up the stat sheet, kind of like Osobar does. A little bit of drop off the last couple games here, but a good start for him knocking down that mid-range.
Breidenbach, he can hit from there, and he does. Yes, last year by Mike Hopkins and the Huskies, and it never did work out, but he's off to a good start.
He is, and I think for him, not having played all last year, it took him a few games to get going, but super talented kid. What position is he? I could see they tried to play him some on the ball as a point guard, but I think better suited off the ball, can really get his own shot.
Osobar gives it up, and a short little bunny put.
Johnson now with the take. He gets stopped underneath, and Osobar gets the rebound.
Osobar is a center that'll grab a rebound, and he starts the break. All the way under. The tallest player on the floor, the second tallest player in the Big Ten Conference, second to Daniel Jacobson at Purdue, who's out for the year. He is so long.
Osobar with the dish and a finish inside.
You overload one side of the floor, you come back to the other, and Kobe Johnson gets a much-needed point.
Osobar, perfect pass underneath, and a slam for Brown.
Protect the rim, and if teams want to shoot pull-ups or runners, let them do that. I would say, though, that Dylan Andrews, probably the best part of his game.
Yeah, you got to be strategic about who you do it.
Yeah, it depends on who's shooting it, right?
Meanwhile, launching on the right side and hitting it, Makai Mason.
Elijah Mahi takes a seat, replaced by Ball. Battle for the rebound is won by the Huskies. Good job by Tyree Iheanacho.
Oh, that's frustrating for your Santa Clara. You have the inside positioning on a free throw, and you can't get that one. You got to put a body and maintain that contact on the box outs.
Breidenbach is just checked in.
Oh, they're trying to sell it down in there.
I know. Breidenbach can't connect on the 3. The O-board winds up with the Huskies, and here they go again. This time, Davis hits.
Here, the ambiance, it's an overall just a great experience. I know that we have a lot of the teams over at La Quinta Resort, so that vibe of having 16 teams together at one location, kind of on that low-rise, spread-out grounds, you know, experiencing the pools and all the atmosphere of the great things that is being offered there. I think it just creates a unique experience.
That was yesterday. Today, just 1 point.
Yeah, but he's doing a lot of other great things. Just watch him off the ball, defensively, number one, but on the offensive side, he is a wall of a screener. He has a lot of screen assists in this game.
Great Osobar to Iheanacho off glass.
And just exceptional teamwork.
Oh,
by
100%.
TNT and the crew. And everyone involved in this. It's been really a magnificent experience.
Top tier event. We talked to the CEO of Visit Greater Palm Springs, Scott White. This thing is just going to get bigger and better by the year. Harris buries the...
And he looked over at the coaching staff and put the fist up. I think he needs a little break right here before halftime.
5.5 minutes to go before we hit the half. Harris is not going to miss from there. Taking up a lot of real estate down low. Crocker Johnson, no. Battle for the rebound, won by the Dogs.
And now can you stack stops? You got one. Can you get 3 more in a row? And can you score down here 4 times in a row? That's how you gain that leverage necessary to get the momentum back.
Colorado State trying to shake off a loss Friday night. That'll help. Kicks it back. Court right. Fakes. Too strong. Great kicking it to Harris. That'll work. Harris had those championship game. Bourne working hard. Doesn't get the roll. And the rebound cleared by Tyler Harris.
Yeah. But Bourne got all the way down into the trenches yet again with the quickness.
He gets downhill in a hurry.
Yeah, he does. Sticking with the zone is Colorado State.
Oh, nice bounce to King.
I mean, he's shooting 70% from the floor. And he's got to touch it. I mean, his opponents know who he is. They're going to honor that and respect it.
That 3 is a splash. Clears. Huskies up by 1. 5 minutes to go.
There he is.
No look to Harris. Harris corralling that rebound as he continues to stuff the stat sheet now with 7 rebounds.
Yeah, you can't hesitate on your defensive rotations going back to what Autumn Johnson just reported on.
Oh, nice finish at the
2. Alcorn State now on an 8-0 run over the last minute and 40 seconds. Washington hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes, and the lid comes up. Tied up at 38. We know he can score it. Poured in 17 points per game last year at Detroit Mercy. Osobar terminates the dribble, finds Courtright, launches the 3, and he's who's 6'7" and currently guarding great Osobar. Osobar fires inside. Diallo, he's dialed in. Leap forward in that second season, winning their first SWAC regular season title in 20 years. Did it again the following year. Last season, second place, and it seems like they are here to stay as a team at the top of the SWAC table. 8 to shoot for the Huskies out of the timeout. And Tyler Harris takes the 3. Bullseye. Nice head fake from Butler. Skips it for Harris. Osobar, head fake. Drops it off for Diallo for 2. Leads the Riverhawks with 14 points tonight. Courtright on the baseline, muscles it up. Offensive board, Osobar, he finds Diallo for picking up in Seattle. Lantek lofts a 3, and that rainbow is an air ball. Chucked out to midcourt. Huskies have numbers. Harris slams it home. Who now has 13 points, leading all scorers. Osobar the stuff. The senior from England protecting the paint. Hands off Davis, who fires a 3. Osobar the takeaway. Floats it ahead for Davis. Tack on an easy deuce.
He's the top returning player for UC Davis.
I see why he averaged 18 a game last year. That was left-handed off the glass over one of the best shot blockers in the country, Frank Kepnon.
I didn't see a call, but it was in anyway. Rochak rims it in and out, and Osobar, who really can do it all, including bring the ball up, gets the rebound.
Well, this was surprising to me, AJ. You know, I didn't watch him a lot last season. I only saw him try. Oh, nice lob.
There's your point forward play.
Got to stay on the floor. But UC Davis has gained their confidence, and their best player, T.Y. Johnson, is feeling. He's talking trash to the fans, talking trash to the players. Washington has their hands full.
And one there. He's getting to the line. 10 for 12 as Kepnon